from the fridge food that doesn't necessarily belong to you. So if somebody, like, if there's leftovers in the fridge, and, you know, even if there's no name on it, leave it, because it's, you know that it's probably somebody's that they want to eat. So just things like that. Don't take that as what is not given to you. What's next? Refrain from eating after 12 p.m. Okay, this one was the hardest one for me, and this one stressed me out a lot. And it makes a lot of sense to me now. Like, I think I'm actually, especially as I get older and I want to start, like, I mean, I used to fast in the morning. When I would wake up, I would not eat breakfast, and I would just wait till like noon-ish, and then I would have my breakfast at noon. And I don't know, it's not like I needed to do this, because it's not like I want to lose weight or anything. It's just that I found that I was like, I heard that it was good for you, and I found that I would get hungrier if I ate. Like, I used to get up for work really, really early, and then if I ate that time, I'd get really hungry again by like 10. But if I didn't eat, then I wouldn't get hungry. It's weird. Anywho. But I actually found out through this book that the right time to fast is actually in the evening. And it makes a lot of sense now that I think about it. Because in the morning, you want the energy. There's a reason for eating in the morning. Like, you want the energy to get you through the day. You know, usually, at least for me, I put out the most energy in the morning, because I'm a morning person. I get up really early. I get all my shit done in the morning. Pardon my language. And, you know, I get more tired in the evening. So I am more, for me, I'm kind of got back onto the breakfast train, especially since being here. Like, Filipinos do not let you miss a meal, let me tell you. Like, there's no way that they would not let me eat breakfast, so I didn't even try. Like, they force food on me like it's no tomorrow. So I started eating breakfast again, and but yeah, so eating after 12. So what the monks do is they don't eat dinner, because for dinner time, you know, it's so common for us to eat dinner and eat a big meal for dinner, right? Like, that's the biggest meal of your day, is usually your dinner. And then what do you do after dinner? Usually, for like, I'd say a good chunk of the population, is we lay down on the couch after dinner. Like, chances are that's what you do. That's what I do. I go and lay in bed, and for me it's even worse. I go and lay in bed after dinner here, because I go to bed quite early now, because I wake up so early. So I literally go and lay down after dinner. Like, I'm basically right after. And so, like, I'm, like, remotely not even, like, able to digest my food. So for me, it's really good to not eat dinner. And that idea scared me so much, because it's so different than fasting in the morning, because I would fast in the morning, but I would have coffee. And so I never really got hungry, because the coffee keeps you not hungry. But in the evening, I'm not going to be drinking coffee. So anyways, that scared me. And just, like, the idea of going to bed hungry has always been a fear of mine for some reason. Like, as a child, there's been a couple times where I would go to bed hungry, not because we didn't have food. Like, obviously I always have food to eat, but, like, if I just had an early dinner, and then by the time I go to bed, if I can't sleep or something, and then I end up getting hungry and it keeps me awake. I don't know, I had a couple experiences like that, and it really, like, I don't know, for some reason it's, like, really scary to me. I'm like, so I'm the kind of person that snacks before bed, and, like, has, like, you know, obviously, like, desserts and whatever, but, like, I always eat lots in the evening. And so this was definitely, I know I'm taking way too long to explain this, but this part was the scariest and most stressful part for me, because I was, like, sad, because, like, mealtime's, like, my favorite time of day, especially because I don't, like, smoke or have any, like, substances in my life anymore right now. Like, so whenever, if I'm ever not, like, using any substances that, you know, can be addictive, if I'm just, like, cut off of those, I find that I get more pulled towards food, because naturally, you know, people are usually addicted to something, and with whatever it is. So for me, that's food. Like, food's a huge thing for me, and it's something that, you know, I'm kind of working on. But so anyways, I was quite nervous for this, and it ended up being totally fine, because you are allowed to have juice, water, and even a light smoothie, they said. So, like, I'd say for a smoothie, like, just fruit, nothing, no protein powder, no like, high-fat yogurt, all that stuff. Don't put that in. I'd say for me, I just put fruit and coconut water in it. That's it. and it was basically like juice. It was super like runny. It tasted amazing, but it was like not really a smoothie. It was basically juice. And that's exactly what they're talking about. You can do that. So I knew that should be fine, because a smoothie kind of fills you up. But anyways, for some reason, I was just so, like, I couldn't get out of my head, like, around, the afternoon. I was just thinking about how much I'm sad that I can't have dinner, because I just love to eat. So, sorry for the long explanation of that. But anyways, that was the hardest part for me, was no dinner. But just know that if I can do it, you can do it. Like, trust me. And I was actually totally fine. And I was able to digest. I was able to have an actual clean tummy going to bed. Like, I've never experienced that. I've never not had dinner in my life. And just thinking that every single night, basically, my body is not digesting my food, and then I go to sleep, that I've been doing this my entire life, and you probably have too. Like, it's crazy. It's not good for you. And especially if you're trying to lose weight, I would highly recommend just giving this a try. I don't know. It might work for you. So next is refrain from all sexual activity. Once again, this was not hard for me because I was already doing that. So yeah, no, this was not difficult, but for some people, obviously, it might be. But yeah, so next is, and I guess I'll clarify, like all sexual activity. So I probably don't need to explain everything that you can't do, but anything sexual with yourself, with another person, like, it's pretty self-explanatory, but nothing like that. And next is refrain from dancing, singing, music, entertainment, wearing garlands, and using perfumes, and beautifying the body with cosmetics. Okay, that's a long one, and that one I also didn't like. That was also the hardest one for me. Not all of those, because obviously, like, haven't worn makeup in freaking ever. But like makeup, perfume, obviously never been aware of those really. But and wearing garlands, I had to Google what that is. Garlands is clothes, so that's the one thing I couldn't do for this challenge, because I'm living on a farm with people. And maybe if it was a few years ago, because these guys told me that this used to be a hippie commune, and I'm like so sad that I got, like, as much as I love it here now, I'm like, damn, I'm too late. Like, this place used to be literally a commune, and they just used to just do acid and chill and do yoga and walk around naked. So if I had gotten here when I should have got here, which is a couple years ago, then I probably could have participated in that, but I couldn't. So there's way too many men here that are in love with me on the farm for me to be walking around naked, let's just say. So I couldn't do that part. Dancing, singing, music, entertainment. These are, you might make you think twice. Like, why would I abstain from these things? They all make me happy. Like, they're all good for you, right? Of course, dancing, singing, all of that, like dancing and singing especially, and music, are all, like, really good for you. Yes, but the point is there's still distractions from the internal world of you, I guess. So when you're, walking down the street and you're singing, your body or your mind is focused on the singing, and it's not left to be silent. So same when it comes to music, so when I was working on the mural this day, I was, usually I usually listen to like audiobooks or podcasts, or sometimes listen to some music, and I wasn't able to listen to any of these, so I was kind of forced to just be silent with myself and notice the sounds going on around me that I normally wouldn't hear. And as much as it's like a little bit more boring that way to not be listening to books or whatever, the point is to not be so distracted, to let my mind to see and just be observant, right? This is the point, is to be able to, almost like in meditation, be observing how your mind thinks when there's no sound going on. And it's interesting if you're able to actually like look at your thoughts from a third, kind of almost like a third person, or look at it as a separate entity, seeing your thoughts come up and noticing them, and then you're able to kind of look at it like, oh, this is what I'm thinking a lot of the time. And just becoming aware of it, because a lot of us are not aware of our thoughts, like most of the time. And we have the same thoughts every single day. Like 90% of them are the same thoughts every day. And we don't even know what these thoughts are. Aren't you curious to find out what you've been thinking about every day, all the time? Like, you probably have no idea what it's a lot of it coming from your subconscious and from many things. But if you're able to sit with those thoughts, that's why meditation is so important, is because you need to be able to notice your thoughts, notice what's coming up, and once you're able to notice those, you'll kind of see easily what you've been thinking the last, I don't know, like every single day. Once you're able to notice it once, you can see, okay, well, this is probably what I'm thinking every day, because every day you think the same things. So that's the point of this rule, right, is no distractions. So entertainment, of course, you don't want to be watching TV on your Buddhist cleanse day. Like, that completely takes away from the whole experience and distracts you from what's really important, which is time with yourself, right? So let's see. Singing. So yeah, I found singing kind of hard because, I'd get a song in my head and then I'm like, oh wait, but I can't play a music. Is it cheating if I listen to a song in my head? And then one of my favorite songs comes on and I'm like, oh, wanting to sing it out loud. And I actually caught myself a couple times singing it out loud, which I didn't think that I would have a problem with this, but I actually did. So anyways, so that one was a little bit hard, but not so much, not so bad. Next is refraining from false speech, so no lying. And that can be, plain white lies or big lies, any kind of lies. So be truthful always. And, and if something comes up where, I know that sometimes lying can be necessary to prevent, hurting someone's feelings or whatever, but, the rule is no false speech. So however you got to do it, don't be an a-hole, obviously, but try, do your best to not lie. And that doesn't mean you have to tell the entire truth. It just means no false speech. So that's just what I think. So that one was fine, I think, for me. Refraining from lying on a high or sleep. Oh, and this is the last one, by the way. Refrain from lying on high or luxurious sleeping place. I don't think I wrote that properly. That was not good English whatsoever. Anyways, no sleeping on your bed, basically. So you can sleep on you sleep on the floor, and you can put like little tiny cushions, like if you have a mat, like a couple yoga mats maybe, or you can take some quilts or some big blankets and like throw them on the ground. That's good too. You don't have to sleep on the rock hard floor, but the point is to not be on your bed, because usually your bed will be high up off the ground and it's usually fairly comfortable, especially in the Western world. It's quite comfortable. So yes, so no sleeping in your bed. And for me, I just took the mattress off of the bunk bed that I'm staying on and put it on the floor, because the mattresses out here are quite hard, so it's like it's simple enough, and I feel like that counted. But yeah, so for you guys in the Western world, you guys have way comfier beds than they do in Southeast Asia, so you're probably gonna have to go on the floor. This is not as bad as you think. Like, laying on your back, if you're able to fall asleep on your back, then it's totally fine. You're not gonna want to sleep on your side for this though. And there you have it. There is your, however many rules that is. I think that's like about 8 rules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, that's your 8 rules, your 8 shields to protect you from, well, I can't even say what you're protecting you from, but that's just how they say it. But there's your 8 rules that you need to follow when you do this Buddhist cleanse. And yeah, just give it a try. It's one day, and you're probably going to feel like $1,000,000 after. You could use a break from all of these things. I know you can, because these are things that take up your entire, like, every single day of your life, most people. And it's good to take a break from all of these distractions and all of this junk and crap and just all of this nonsense that's taking you away from the present moment, taking you away from your higher self and your your chi and your zen, and